What's going on, guys? So today isn't really anything special, but I did order some new header, whatever, for the DA because mine was cracked really bad, and when I take it off later you'll be able to see. So unfortunately today's Thursday, which means I have to work, but I'm going to just bring the headers with me to work, and I'm going to try and get it done while I'm there if it's slow tonight. So I don't know if you can probably hear the car in the background outside, but it's still doing its stupid idle issues. So I'm still hunting it down. I swapped out the map sensor today. That didn't help, so I'm going to run by the junkyard on my way to work because I'm leaving a bit early, and I'm going to try and pull some idle air control valves and clean those up while I'm at work and slap one of those on too, in hopes that maybe it's one of those. But I won't know for sure until I can get it on. But judging by the way the car acts, when I disconnect the idle air control valve when it's idling, it smooths out and it stops being stupid. And yes, I've already cleaned it. I've already deleted the fast off valve, sprayed everything for vacuum leaks, double checked all my vacuum lines, clamps, everything, freaking TPS, calibrated, adjusted, whatever. So this is pretty much the last of what I can think of, honestly. But yeah, so I'm gonna get over to the junkyard. I don't have much time, so I won't be filming that. You know what it looks like. It's a bunch of cars, and I'm just popping idle air control valve off and leaving. But yeah, so I'll catch up with you guys later on tonight when I can pull the car in and do these headers. And it's going to be a little bit of a pain because I got to notch my subframe or whatever, but we'll make it work. Alright, so I got these 4 to 1 headers, not 4 to 2 to 1, just 4 to 1. So these are just DNA racing headers because I needed something because mine is cracked really bad. So I know, whatever, cheap stuff. It was like 80 bucks or something like that, I don't remember. But eventually I'll get some 1320 headers because I really want to get kind of like the Hood X01 or something. I don't know, but this will hold over for now. Alright, well, I just got done at the scrapyard. There was 1 idle air control valve. There was 3 the other day, and it's literally been like 3 days. So people scavenged them already. So I got 1 of them. It was off of a 95 Integra, I think. The car only had 143,000 miles on it. It looks pretty crusty, but I don't know. I guess I'll clean it up and see if it's any better than the one I have now. So yeah, I might do that tonight. Probably end up doing that at my house, so that way I can, because I got my coolant at my house. So today it'll just be the headers. Alright, so here's the idle air control valve. Got that cleaned up, so I'm gonna just do this at the same time. I figure I might as well do it while I'm here. I got a little bit of coolant, so should be okay. As for the headers, I gotta drop the subframe, whatever it's called. But yeah, so I'm gonna pop this other idle air control valve off quick and get started on this. Gotta finish waiting for the headers to cool down first though, so it'll be a few minutes. Yeah. It's alright, it's a fisheye, you can't see it. Alright, so for this, I'm gonna take the intake tube off, disconnect it, and the electrical connector. And you got 2 12mm bolts down here on the back, and then 2 hoses, so it'll all just come right off and then literally just snaps right back in place. And then got a bleeding cooling system, so should be good to, yep, so cool. Right, so if you guys remember when I put the motor together, I don't think I swapped out idle air control valves because this one definitely looks really crusty and it's painted, which I didn't paint my other one. And so here's the new one. Like I said, just got the 2 bolts right here. Make sure you got the gasket on there and 2 hoses in the plug. So plug this in and hope for the best, honestly. Alright, so ran into some issue on this actually. This top bolt was shorter for whatever reason because the base on this other one is a little bit skinnier, so I had to go find a bolt, but then the first couple threads pulled out of this, so I got it tightened down just enough. So everything should be okay on it. I'm really hoping. I haven't turned the car on yet because I wanted the headers to be cold for doing the exhaust. So I got these bolts off now. I'm gonna jack it up. I'm gonna lift it up and try and get these lower bolts undone and try and pop this header off. I gotta drop the subframe a little bit to make sure these other things fit, and then see where I have to notch it. So I'm sorry I don't have 2 hands, so I can't film all this, but keep you guys updated. Alright, so for this part to drop this, you're gonna have 2 bolts right here, 2 bolts right there, 2 bolts back here, and then the top 17 mil, I believe it is, on top of the control arm, and then this whole piece is going to drop down. So it's going to be heavy, so be careful. But that way you don't have to take the radius rods off or do any of that, and then I can just literally drop this straight down, and then I can mock the other thing up, and then I can see where I have to notch it out. So I'm going to try and get this done by myself. Well, you guys can't even see it here on the camera, probably, but that is cracked. And then it comes around to the front right there, so it's pretty bad. So I'm gonna mock these up quick, see how these sit. Oh, these are kind of heavy. Okay, so roughly like that. I gotta put the camera down now. Alright, so I ran into a slight fitment issue, which I expected. Those headers are longer than those headers at the bottom, so I gotta drop this middle section and chop this off a few inches, and then I'm gonna have to reattach that piece. But right now, I gotta drop this anyway because I have a new gasket for right here because this one's all old and broken, so it'll be easy enough at least, but it never goes right on the first attempt. Okay, so with this midsection dropped, I'm gonna mock up the headers quick and then roughly put that where it's supposed to go. So that way I can kind of see what I'm working with in terms of like space and what I'm gonna have to notch. So it'll be a quick little 2-minute thing. I'll make the marks and then I'll just hack at it. Alright, so this is what I've cut out so far. I don't know if you're going to have to do these with like every set of headers, but like I said, I'm not worried about the structural integrity of this thing because it's getting switched out for a traction bar soon anyway. But yeah, probably like what, 4 or 5 inches across, and had to cut out this centerpiece. So should, if my calculations are correct, which they are never correct, should fit up just fine. But then yeah, I still got to chop the thing back a few inches, the center pipe. But other than that, it's good, and it actually should hopefully clear because it hangs a little bit lower than the other piping did, other headers did. So it should hang a little bit lower so that way my shifter isn't smacking it. So that'll be cool. But it's a little bit more work than I was anticipating, but it'll be worth it. Hopefully it'll sound cool too, a little bit better because it's a little bit bigger piping. Because this is itty bitty piping, and this is big old fat guy piping. Okay, so to fit these 4-to-1 headers, I've literally had to cut in halfway through this subframe, or whatever you want to call this piece. So structural rigidity, no such thing anymore. But gotta do what I gotta do to make these fit because I need headers. So, but like I said, it's not a big deal because I will be replacing this with a K-tuned traction bar, which is not even half as wide as this. So it'll be okay then. But for now, this will have to do. Alright, so it's all mocked up and it's looking pretty good so far. Looks kind of haggard, but it's whatever. It'll work. So I'm going to finish putting these bolts in. Got 2 up here. One more right there, and same on the other side. So I'll get this finished up and then running short on time. So I'm probably going to just have to skip filming doing that stuff and just get it done right away. And yeah, and then show you guys what it sounds like afterwards. Okay, so we've run into an issue now. Basically, this piping isn't going to fit because I don't have a big enough donut gasket for this, so I got to try and find one. But then also, these flanges are not wide enough to fit on that, so I got to order some flanges. I got to get some measurements for it, then I got to find some, and then I got to get a bigger donut gasket too, and then we can makeshift this. So I'm going to have to drive home, open headers, and then pretty much just park the car and figure it out from there. So I'm gonna get some measurements quick, and then I suppose I still gotta bleed the cooling system on here too, so I'm gonna lower it down, burp the radiator, and then find some earplugs so I can drive home tonight. But I mean, you guys wanted the header install. You didn't say nothing about the full exhaust, so I got you guys the header install. Although it sucks that I'm gonna be open header, I suppose it's better than having it not go on at all. Like, at least it fits, right? So I guess think positively, make the best of it. Okay, so I only lost a couple drops of coolant when I took the idle air control valve off, but that little bit was enough to get some air in the system. So I'm gonna just pour a little bit of coolant in here and then fire it up, plug my ears, and then just wait for it to burp, I guess, and check for leaks. Because, like I said, the threads on this top bolt, a few of them came out, so it's snug down, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we go. Well, like you guys can see, they turned a pretty gold color. And I blipped the throttle a few times. I didn't want to do that on camera because I didn't want to make your ears bleed. But it climbed idle or whatever like it's supposed to when you hit the throttle, and then it dropped down to like 1200. It'd sit there for like 2 seconds, but then it settled out again at like 1000. So I think I might be good on my idle problems. I don't know. I guess I'll find out on my way home if it starts doing it on the way home. But as for that, I mean, I think that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. Nothing super explanatory, nothing super crazy, but you guys wanted to see it, so there you guys go. This Saturday, I will be hanging out with Dylan. If you guys remember him from Vlasic's Classic that really beat up rusty Integra, it's not so rusty anymore. You guys are going to be stoked to see it, especially you like Stance Wars, like clean car, shiny wheels type dudes. So we're going to be starting to put his car back together because it just got out of paint. So be looking forward to that. But other than that, guys, that's going to be it for this video. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on post notifications if you could. And comment something down below. And I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace out. Alright, well, so far the idle seems to be holding up pretty good. But man, this thing is ignorantly loud. I thought my car had bass before. This thing is nothing but bass.